how to make millions of pounds from land and new homes. Today, I'm joined by Ian Preston from Preston Baker, who has a fantastic idea called land promotion, where he talks about how it potentially is going to grow his estate agency by millions and millions of pounds. Ian, talk to me.
We've got a new business, which is called Richard Roberts, which is a land promotion business. And we started trialing this business in about 2020. And effectively, what land promotion is it is a gambling business. So what you do is you partner with a landowner, you say, I will fund your planning consent. And if the outcome is positive, so we win, then we will take a charge on the land, but we take a charge on land earlier, but we will sell that land and we will take a very large percentage and we'll get our costs back. And if we lose our money. So effectively, we bet on the outcome of planning consents. Now, that business now is already bigger than lettings was. So since summer of last year, with the money that we've invested it's probably got a profit level which is 10x, and it's got now a turnover which is greater than lettings was within.
But you needed that lump.
Totally. So to put it in context, each deal is probably requires about 30 to 40,000 pounds worth of funding. And at the moment we've got, thick end of 40 to 50 deals, which are currently in the process, which we've sort of signed terms on. And so it is a massive cash hoover. Now, if it does what I believe it will do, and if these bets pay off, it will be a fantastic 10x business. In other words, if it's making £2-3 million a year, it will be worth 25-30 million pounds as a business to sell in the future. And the question is, if I've got a business which, let's say, is worth, I don't know, anywhere between 1 and 2 million, so the lettings business is worth between 1 to 2 million quid now. If I keep growing that at 10% per year, organic growth, what might I make that worth? I might make it worth 2.5, 3, 3.5. I can make a small margin on it whilst I'm doing that, which is great. It provides stability. It helps justify things like premises. So it's got lots of value, but it's never going to be worth 30 million or 50 million or 100 million. So for example, the biggest land promoter in the UK was recently sold to Barratt's, and it was sold for 250 million pounds. So, and here's the other beauty of the business. If you imagine, what we're doing is we're creating a pipeline of land which is having planning permission secured on it. So we now have a town planning business and an architecture practice which provide professional services for that land promotion business. We have a land and new homes business which then gets given land to sell to developers. And guess who they use to sell that? Preston Baker. And who do they use to finance it? Feel Good Financial, our mortgage business. So we're actually creating this top of the funnel business which is now feeding the rest of the business going forward. But it takes a 2 to 3 year gestation period. Now, we've been backed by the Northern Powerhouse. So the Northern Powerhouse has invested £500,000 in Richard Roberts. And we've had lots of other funding secured for it, but it's just a cash hoover. So that's the bet, that's the play. And is it foolish? Is it a stroke of genius?
Well, only time will tell.
Only time will tell. So it could genuinely be the biggest act of self-harm in my sort of professional career, or alternatively, it'll be the thing which spurs us on to that next level. And we'll just have to wait and see.
How do other agents do this?
Land promotion, they don't.
No, but how would they? If
How would they?
this?
Okay, fine. So we started on a really small scale. And effectively, most land agents will have come across options. In fact, land agents will have come across promotions as well. But effectively, it is a route to you taking a joint venture with a landowner where you think it's got planning permission potential.
But you have to do the work.
You do the work and you fund it.
Hence, you need the lump from the 600 selling the...
That's right. So effectively, that's it. That's the gamble.
Where did the idea come from?
So it was brought to me by Hugh, who's our land director. And he said, I've seen other people doing this. I'd like to have a go. And he brought it to me and James. And we said, OK, sure. There's a cheque for 80 grand. Proves to us that it works. So we did 3 deals. And he came to me in like March 2020. So it was like COVID time. So we had plenty of time on our hands, to sort of think through strategy. And we thought, oh my God, if we can get this to work, I ran the numbers on it. And I said, once we'd sort of started the first few deals, I sort of then presented back to James and Hugh, and I said, I've run the numbers on this, and I believe that we could make a business which could generate a 50% net profit margin.
But you need to put the bets on the table.
You have to put the bets on the table. So you've got to make sure you're making great bets. You've got to have great people around you to make those bets. You've got to have lots of money, and you've got to make sure that you're prepared to wait. So time is one of the key things.
What patience? Oh my God!
And that's it. So we're kind of 2 to 3 years into it, and so far, so one of the key metrics is how many of the sites do you win. So the thing which influences profitability more than anything else is what proportion of the bets that you make come off. And we think that you need to win about 50-50, and our target is to win 2 out of 3.
If an agent watching this thought to himself, that sounds my cup of tea, could they contact you for advice?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if people want to reach out, we had an idea that we might franchise it. So we might actually do all the work for the agent. They might go out and meet them. To be honest with you, we just wanted to focus on...
Well, make sure the model works for
Totally, nailing it ourselves. But yeah, I've had conversation with a couple of other agents in the Property Academy groups that I'm a member of who've expressed interest when I've talked about what we're doing. But yeah, it's something where you've got to have patience, you've got to have money, and you've got to have the right people.
Is this the thing that's going to keep you going for the next 5 to 10 years?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the estate agency, and that's still where I spend the most time, is developing the partnerships with our new self-employed agents, and that has been phenomenal. I've loved it. But yeah, in terms of if I wanted to retire and buy a yacht, that's the business.
Well, let's get you back in 5 or 10 years' time and see if it's successful.
That's it.
Thank you for your time today.
Pleasure.